Hello YouTube, this here is Charles Fry with Spring Pods and Isotales. So, I got some autos. This way they can clean up all my plants, make it look all good and clean in there. I got 3 of them, that's pretty much the minimum that you want to go with. At least 3 autos from what I hear. It's a social fish, it wants a school. And they typically stick together, which is really neat to see. I'm thinking about getting a couple more, pulling them out of this tank, putting them into the bigger 24-gallon tank. This way they're more social, they've got, you know, more brethren with them. They got more company. But aside from that, there's a big old feeding frenzy going on. I put some algae tabs in there. They've got some spirulina and a couple other things. They're made by, I believe, Hikari. They seem to like them a lot. So everything seems to like it. I got snails in there. I got my autos. I don't know if anybody's seeing the shrimps in there, but I got a lot of little tiny shrimps. Here come the shrimps. Call on the shrimps. So that's pretty neat. And everything looks pretty healthy. I guess the only thing that I'm seeing here that I almost have a question about, that I'm kind of wondering if you guys have any info on it, leave a comment in the comments below. I noticed my snails don't get very big in here. That's pretty much what you see here. That's about as big as they get. But in my other tank, right here, we got more snails. I'm not sure if it's just the amount of food, but the snails seem to get a bit bigger. They do get larger in this tank. So, it's kind of an interesting setup. But I've also got a couple snails in here. I think they're getting a little bigger in here too. Not very many of them. It's a bigger tank and it takes a lot longer for them to populate that, but they've had a pretty good run in these other 2 tanks, so they've had a chance to breed. They have had a chance to breed. But I'm pretty excited. I got my little autos. I've been waiting to get these autos for probably about 3 months now, maybe 2 months, 2 to 3 months I'd say. I could have gone to PetSmart and got them. I could have gotten them from a couple other stores in my area, but I got my local shop that I like to stay loyal to. And he had a hard time getting the autos. Good, healthy, sellable autos. Otos. So I stuck it out. I waited till he got his hands on them. Once my local fish store got them, I made sure to pick a couple up. So it was pretty neat. Like I said, I'm excited. Been wanting to get some autos in here for a while. It's really neat how they stick together, how they school. Or shoal. Not sure if they're a school fish or a shoal fish, but they're really neat when they stick together. They do seem to like the current, which, that right there, my filter system drops a nice current down. Can't really see too much of it right now. Other times it moves a little better, but let's make a quick little adjustment. There we go. Now we got a bit more flow. You can see that plant getting pushed down right there. And all that flow makes its way down here. You can see I got all the plants moving around down there really nice. And it keeps things active. In case anybody's wondering what else I got in there, I've got these mystery snails, not mystery snails, they're not sure if they're just pond snails, pest snail, whatever you'd want to call it, but they do a great job cleaning everything up. I don't have to worry about overfeeding because that'll never happen. I've also got Malaysian trumpet snails in here. We'll see if we can find a nice one. There's one right there for you. So that's a live bearing snail. It actually, when it makes babies, it makes live little babies. So you see it kind of squeeze out a really tiny little version of itself. That's pretty cool to see. I've also got 2 guppies in here. Try to find them. And then I've got, oh, there they are. And then I've also got 8, is it 8? Yeah, it's 8 ember tetras. That and a whole bunch of plants. Just loaded with plants. I'll probably add like 20 more plants in there in a day or 2. I'm just kidding. Actually got to pull some of these plants out. They're growing in really nicely. I'm going to use these plants that I pull out to go through and fill up these other tanks to get these looking really, really good. Once these tanks keep growing and growing, I'm going to take some of these plants out of here, put them in there, and it's just going to be, I'm not going to be throwing any plants away for a while. The only thing about this one tank here that we're looking at, that we're focusing on, that's got my otos in it, is it's got that really little opening up top. What this is it's called a carboy. It's a glass 7-gallon jug. It's used for brewing alcohol. The guys that I got it from actually had a brew shop, a homebrew supply shop. They sold the supplies that you would need to pick up to be able to brew your own beer at home. So this is one of the things they had. They had like a group meeting every month or so, and they'd brew beer in the parking lot. It was pretty cool watching it all happen. This is one of the carboys they would use to actually brew beer, and then when they closed down, I helped them move a couple things out, and, you know, some heavy stuff that needed 2 people, 3 people to move, and some of the stuff that got left behind I was able to rummage through. I was given a couple of these guys here. I got like 7 of them, I think. I saved 2 of them, gave 5 of them away, and they're pretty cool. I think it's really neat that it's got that little opening right there. I've got special tools that I use to get all the way down into the bottom. I've got a set of pliers. I've got a couple different things. Pretty neat. It works really good using the tools that I got to get in here and work with it. I need to get in here and move a few things around. I've got this end cap from what that is. It's a 90-degree elbow from my filter that fell off. So now instead of it jumping off at a 90, it just pours straight out, which is fine. I just got to pull that back out. I got to pull the pliers out, stop being lazy. And then I've also got another piece of plastic in there I got to pull out. I don't know if you can see that in there, but that's part of that system right there that made a nice little like a waterfall kind of wave style. It made it pour out in a flatter, as opposed to coming out round, the water would come out a bit flatter, is what that was. So yeah, pretty neat. Thought I'd give a quick little update on this thing. If anybody's wondering, this tank has been established for, I would say, 4 months now. I think about 4 months. And it's doing pretty good. It's doing okay. Definitely a lively tank. Really neat. I'm working on getting a better lighting system. I've got better lights that I can use for this, but what I'm looking at right now is I want to make a like a halo light, a round light that I can fit over the top of it. I can still access the hole without having to move the light out of the way. I think that'd work out really good. I know I've seen the, not halogen lights, the fluorescent lights that are that style. I could probably use something like that. I'm not sure if I want to go with a fluorescent light though. I might be able to get away with adding a lens to change the color spectrum on that fluorescent light, but I'm not sure if that makes a difference or not. I don't really think it makes a difference. I really don't know. Again, comments down below if you have anything to say on that. So I guess the question there that I'm looking at is does it make a difference if I use, let's say, that light right there, which is just a regular white fluorescent light, and then added, let's say, a layer of clear blue tape and clear green tape to give it a blue and green effect? That right there is pretty much what I see from all my other tanks. I've got blue lights and I've got green lights, and what they do is it's supposed to create a full spectrum for the plants to grow better. So there's that right there. It's kind of like more like a purple light, and that's when that kicks on with all the lights. So for my snake, I like to keep that dim though, nice and purple. Yeah, so if anybody's got an answer to that, let me know. Till then, this here is Charles Fry with Spring Pods and Isotels. We're over and out.